Hey YouTube, it's Icro. I'm here to talk about the fight between Christians and the proponents of gay marriage. And the tragedy is, I think it's all concerning the definition of a word. And that word is marriage. Marriage is a religious term, and the concept of marriage between man and woman is extremely important to Christians. So what we have is hundreds of millions of Orthodox Christians in this country who are sympathetic to the concept of gay marriage as far as gays getting together and having a life partner, but they're going to hold their ground on the definition of marriage. They get aggravated because they see gays trying to redefine marriage for them, and as long as people believe in the authority of Scripture, gays getting married is always going to be a problem in this country. Now, I think the tragedy herein is that English lacks a non-religious word for marriage that carries all the connotation and meaning of the word marriage, and that is a lifelong commitment to one another and a deep, deep affection. And like in Germany, they have Lebenspartner, and as far as I know, Lebenspartner, maybe I just know foreign language a little better, but I think it carries all the connotation that marriage does without the religious baggage. So what I think, and now I could be 100% wrong, but I think the solution of the problem eventually is going to be that our culture, embraces a term for marriage that has no religious connotation whatsoever. Because as long as gays want to use the word marriage, it's never going to fly. Or it will fly, but we're going to have this nonstop fight and misunderstanding and hurt feelings on both sides. And it's also a waste of emotion, and it's a waste of money too. I mean, there was $60 million spent by both sides on Prop 8. I mean, we've got people who are freaking poor and need food in this country, that sort of thing, and it's a terrible waste. However, the reason that Christians are never going to back off from the idea of marriage as being a religious idea is because Genesis 1:27, wherein God creates man, male and female, He created them, and God created man in His own image, male and female, He created them. So therefore, to a Christian, the idea of God is that God is male and female, and that man is not complete without a woman, and a woman's not complete without a man. They come together to be one flesh. And then it's in Mark 10, 6 through 10. And now this is coming from Christ, who Christians believe to be God incarnate, so they're going to take His words pretty seriously. He says he's talking about divorce, but he also talks about marriage, and he says that from the beginning it was, a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And that's describing man and woman coming together in union and producing a child. They're one flesh. So nowhere in Scripture does it ever come close to saying that there's anything that, like a man and a man can be married. I mean, marriage is a religious term, and it carries deep significance for Christians. And the problem that Christians have with gay marriage is that when they see that gays want to use that term, that the culture is trying to redefine that term for them, and they're always going to resist that. But the entire thing could be taken off Christian radar if we develop in this country a term for marriage that has no religious connotations whatsoever, and carries all and I think it could satisfy the requirements that proponents of gay marriage have by having all the legal rights that marriage has. And I am an Orthodox Christian, and but at the same time, I mean, I really appreciate that we live in a pluralistic society, and I believe in separation of church and state. And the problem that we're fighting here is that marriage is a religious term, and it's involving the state in that religious term, and we need the separation of church and state. So we need two terms for lifelong partnership. We need marriage for the religious, and we need something like Lebenspartner for the irreligious, or the people who they might be religious, but obviously they're going against what's right in the Christian scripture at least. So I think that if we could just come up with a new definition and make sure that the people who are Lebenspartners get all the rights, the people who are married, that we could possibly come to a solution. And what I think we can all agree with is that we want a solution. We want the gays in society and the Christians and people who are heterosexual to all get along and to be able to live their lives to their fullest without interfering with the lives of the other. That's what makes America great. And what also makes America great is the separation of church and state. And we're dealing with a problem. We're fighting over a word is what it boils down to, and I just pray that this can be solved. And if you're religious, I'm sending out good energy and hoping and wishing that this could be solved. And maybe coming into a dialogue about this could help solve it. I don't know. Post your comments and hopefully you'll post video and you'll describe how you think that we can overcome in this country the fight over gay marriage and the hurt feelings and misunderstandings on both sides.